Alright guys, what's going on? It's Dr. Pauly, and I'm here with my good friend Super Mario T. Introduce yourself, sir.
Your What's going on? Super Mario T. I don't know if you guys have recognized me from my YouTube, but I'm a big Mario guy on YouTube. Loves Mario in the movie.
Yes sir, yes
It's my
sir.
first time talking about the movie on YouTube in any way, shape, or form. I'm doing this before my own review, but I figure why not? Cause man, I love this movie, bro. It's so fun.
This movie was great. It was like, I wasn't actually expecting much. I think I just like, before I started watching this movie, I think my brother came in with like some weird Mario toy thing that he got from the movie theater, and I was like, maybe I should watch that Mario movie, since like, you know, it seems to be, I'm a fan of Mario, so why not I want to watch the movie? And then I came in there and I was like, wow, that was like a lot better than I thought it would be. Like, my expectations were low, but like I was like, dang, that was, I would watch that movie again personally. Like, usually with a lot of kids movies, it's like, sounds fine, I guess, but this one is like, okay.
Gotcha. That seems to be a running theme with plenty of people that go into this movie. Like, even if you're like a seasoned Mario fan, like plenty of people had like tame or low expectations just from that precedent of like video game films and then like the live action Mario films. So like a lot of us weren't expecting like that much going into this movie. I was definitely like raising those expectations high because like after Detective Pikachu and the Sonic movies, I'm like, you could definitely make a very good like video game movie. I had a lot of fun with Sonic 2. And what they seem to be doing with this Mario movie, just from the trailers alone, they were just packing it with so much fan service and trying to make it as faithful to the source material as much as they possibly could. So I'm just like, oh, they're actually like going all the way. I have no reason to think this movie is going to be bad. And thankfully, going into this movie, I was basically met with those exact expectations. I just had a lot of fun with the movie. I saw it with like a lot of friends. I tried to organize this humongous thing at this one theater with like 40 plus people, and then there was a plumbing problem, so half of us had to vacate to a different theater. I'm shocked we got seats, but we had a lot of fun.
Plumbing problem. That is very ironic.
I know, right? It's literally Mario movie, and the theater shuts down because of a main water pipe breaking, and it's like, you should have called the Mario Brothers, bro. What is wrong with you guys?
I'll say though, I didn't watch a single trailer for this. I think I watched like some very quick teaser trailer that was like 10 seconds long. And I was like, oh, it's another video game movie. And the Mario movie was like, okay, Mario movie, we all know what the Mario movie before this. And I was like, okay, whatever, this is gonna like exist, I guess. Probably gonna be fine, not gonna be offensive or anything. So I was completely, I didn't know how many references there were. I think I saw the penguins, that one trailer where they're like, do you yield? And then they throw like small snowballs at Bowser.
Yeah.
That was
the very first trailer with
that
like,
was
Zen,
all I
Bowser,
saw, and I also saw like some meme of Bowser getting like the Power Star, and then someone edited the meme and said like the One Piece is real instead of saying whatever else he said. If I could find the meme, I'll share it right now.
Finally found it. The One Piece is real.
But that's literally all I saw from the movie. So I came in there just
so good.
I just came in there, like, I know there was, like, I guess the penguins are from Mario 64, and that's a reference to Mario 64. I was like, okay, I guess that exists, but I didn't know anything else. Apparently remember the opening where they had, like, that Mario Bros. Song? And then it was like, oh, we're the Mario Bros. Yeah. And then the girl's like, the only thing I haven't drained yet is my wallet. I didn't even see that either. When I saw that, when that first came on screen, I was, like, getting butterflies in my stomach. I was like, holy crap, they're actually using, like, the Mario theme, and like they're just like going all out with this. Wow.
I'm a little bit jealous because like like when I saw the trailers, even just like the very first one, I was convinced. But low key, coming out of that movie the first time, I'm like, man, part of me wishes I didn't see any of those trailers because like the first third of the movie was basically the trailers. There's like newer stuff here and there, but a lot of the first act, a little bit of the second two was stuff we saw in the trailers. So we were kind of some of us were kind of just waiting to get to that third act. But even then, like, if you didn't see those trailers and you got to those parts that were seen in the trailers, it's like, all of that is still, like, really cool stuff and really cool knowledge. Just, like, the visualization of the Mushroom Kingdom, the Penguin Kingdom, and Bowser raiding it at the very beginning. Like, I feel like the movie would have been, like, so much more, like, just more fun than it was for me if I didn't go into those, like, near blind or not seeing any of the trailers like you have. So I am a little jealous with that.
Yeah, I came in there basically completely blind. I wasn't really that interested in the movie, to be fair, so I was kind of just like, okay. Like I watched a Sonic movie. The first Sonic movie was like okay. Second Sonic movie was pretty good, but like I didn't like adore the movie or anything like that. So I was like, okay, this is a good movie. And then I think I watched it again with like a younger cousin, and I was like, yeah, this is a good movie. But yeah, I don't know. The Mario movie, I was like, wow, that was like very good. I think it's also because the Sonic movie was a live action movie, so it was trying to appeal to tried to appeal to parents more. With this one was just like all for fans. And I think that it's not all for fans, I guess, but like it's very much for the fans of Mario. I think that I thought that this would actually like go against their bottom line, because live action movies generally tend to do better than animated movies, and this is a well established fact. And it's because people just take it more seriously. Like, adults will take it more seriously, and kids, they think it's cooler when it's like, oh wow, Sonic is in real life. As opposed to if it was animated, then it's like, okay, Sonic is just another animated character. He's not like, I can't like relate to him more because he's not in real life. But
that plus you look at the stigma for animation in cinema too. Like animated movies usually perform worse, and like even beyond the Oscars, like generally people will like, besides Disney and Pixar, people will look at animated movies and like not be as inclined to see them as live action movies, and that speaks from the grossing numbers they make too.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
like, yeah.
So that's kind of what I was expecting with. But I guess because it's an animated movie, and they knew that like a lot of people who would watch an animated movie on Mario are probably just complete Mario nerds. They just went all out with all the references. Like the creators had so much fun with it, and it was just complete fan service. I could tell just from watching the movie.
The one thing I think also helped with the Mario movie's case too is that like you could argue this for Sonic as well, but like Mario is like a multi-generational icon. Like, Mario's been around for almost 40 years at this point.
That is true, yeah.
So, wait, 90... Actually, no, he technically has been if you add Donkey Kong. But, like, at least as far as the original Super Mario Bros., almost 40 years. So, like, a lot of older people, not even just kids, teens, and young adults of today, but a lot of, like, seniors and, like, middle-aged people grew up and know about Mario, too. He just has that massive connective reach across all these different people that I personally feel like is larger than what Pokemon has. Pokemon, I think, is a bigger franchise all around, but more people know about Mario, I think, than Pokemon. So, that was definitely going in the Mario movie's favor, for sure.
That's fair. And also, the thing with Mario is that it's also just been good for so long. It's never... I guess during like the GameCube era, it was kind of not as popular. With the Wii U era, I suppose it wasn't as popular either, but Mario also has re-released all their Wii U games, and the Wii U era didn't last that long. So it was like a sort of small blip in the grand scheme of things. Mario just been very popular and very consistently good for a very long time. Unlike with Sonic. Sonic has been around for a long time, but it hasn't really been good for a long time, and this fan base has been segregated so strongly. Like, there's a classic era, adventure era, modern era, and that has created separate fans. Whereas the Mario games, it's very consistent, it's very true. The fan base isn't segregated or anything like that, so it's very cohesive, I'd say.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like, I love Sonic, but for sure, he's like definitely far from the most consistent brand out there. Like, a lot of divisive people from like the mid-2000s with like the games that came out then and Sonic Unleashed, and like you had Generations of Colors, but then Lost World came, and then boom, Mania's good, and then Force is just like way too many games that like vary so far in quality, both control, like gameplay and story and such, that like it's hard to like genuinely gauge whether or not a Sonic anything is going to be like good out of the gate or not. It hopefully, because now with Frontiers, that a lot of people think like Sonic's on like a really good path right now. Hopefully they stick with that and that momentum goes. But like that exact thing has happened with Generations and Colors, so even from here on out, it's going to be hard to say. Even with Mario's worst cases, like some of the Paper Mario games or like some of the sports games, like most of those games, they usually range from like either bad for some people or for the most like mediocre-ish or average. Otherwise, the vast sum of Mario games that come out for a lot of systems, they're like usually good. You're not going to go wrong with like any Mario game you pick up. Baseball, tennis, golf, strikers, 2D Mario, 3D Mario, Mario Party, Mario Kart, you're not going to go wrong with any of them. For so many generations and so many years, so many of the consoles and all the games Mario's had. A lot of them are really good games, so you can bet whenever Mario releases a new thing, it's going to be a really good time. And a lot of people argued the opposite because of like some misconceptions with like Miyamoto and Nintendo. But Nintendo being behind this project, not even just Illumination and them being Mario fans, but Nintendo being behind it definitely helps a lot too. Because I don't think Sega was that hands-on with the Sonic movies either.
Yeah, they seemed very hands-off.
Yeah. Which, it could have gone in the Mario movies' favor if they went the opposite, but like I think it helped more that they were hands-on because they know Mario. Like, they're gonna want Mario and the whole brand to be presented in a very specific way. I think one of the main inspirations behind this project and why Nintendo and Miyamoto wanted to be behind it was literally because they didn't want to repeat the live-action 90s movie where it was far disconnected from the source material. I'm fairly sure I literally saw a Miyamoto video of him being interviewed by someone with Chris Melandandri saying that exact thing. I might have to link it in the... yeah, I'll definitely have to send you the link, but that was definitely one of the inspirations behind this project for sure.
映画ってライセンスされて作られて映像化されてっていうところで、映像化した人たちとライセンスした人たちの間に隔たりがあるっていうところが、ハリウッドに行ってこのキャラクターがこんなになっちゃったとか、お客さんってそういう構造で見たがるので。
Yeah,
which is funny to think about because that was.
Yeah, the Sonic movie felt like it was a lot of just it was just like a character comes to real life, like Easter Bunny is real, or like, you know, those kids movies, right, where they have like some anthropomorphic creature that comes into the real world.
Yeah, Hop,
I feel like another one of those.
Smurfs.
Yeah. It felt like one of those movies. Especially the first one, it felt a lot like that. Second one kind of deviated away from that more. It became more of a Sonic movie. But the first one felt a lot like that, so I figured... Yeah, I was figuring the same thing happened with the Mario movie, but no, it wasn't very much the case. Pretend there's a good transition to this, but also, the plot of the Mario movie... I have my notes here. The plot of the Mario movie, to me, it seemed very loose. Like, they just had like a vague idea of where they wanted to finish, and where they wanted to start. And then they just kind of freestyled it from there. Like, I'm trying to think of like what theme, like what was like the main message, what was like the main point of it, and I guess it was like vaguely like fight for your survival, not for your survival, I guess, but it's like I don't know, save your brother, love your brother, and I don't know, I guess it's been like a week since I've watched it at this point. Maybe I had something else when I first started it, but it didn't really seem like there was much of a theme. I guess with his father, there was like, okay, believe in yourself, even if everyone around you tells you that you're doing wrong. Because he was like, had like a poor plumbing business before, but then he came back and he saved the town, right? So I guess it's like, believe in yourself.
This just like opened like 3 different like branching paths of discussion because I just thought of like 3 to 4 different things with this.
Oh.
Because there's like, for the themes, I could definitely think of at least 2 different themes that this movie brought. Like, there's one obvious one that sticks in my mind really easily, but between, like, how they structured this movie and wanted to go from the beginning to end and, like, fill out the middle, and, like... Family is obviously one of the main themes. Like, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, they wanted to emphasize just Mario's bond with Luigi, and, like, that was his whole motivation of going out to the Mushroom Kingdom and, like, platforming and trying to save Luigi. Just that brotherly connection, the bond, the love, family. Literally, that is definitely one of the themes of the film, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The second theme I might get to later on, and I might bring up Sonic later on when we get to that point too. But oh my god, what was the other thing I wanted to bring up? I literally just had it and then I just lost it, man. That's annoying. But the plot of the movie itself, that I find interesting because a lot of people say it was like very bare bones or like thin. I don't disagree with those people that much, but I feel like they're underselling it just a teeny tiny bit to some degree. Because one of the key things, I mean, like, it's a movie, so you have to expect it in that medium, but you don't get a lot of characterization of Mario and the other characters that much. Luigi and Bowser are probably the most often characterized, Luigi's Mansion, the RPGs, but we don't get a lot of games that characterize Peach with a personality or motivation or goals. Mario especially. Like, Mario and Peach are probably the most, like, common, like, characters people point to as, like, stale white bread, generic, like, the least characterized, boring. Everyone likes Luigi more, Bowser, Rosalina, Waluigi, Daisy, Wario, any of the other characters you could think of. But, like, every main character in this film basically had some kind of personality or distinct characterization of them we don't often get in any of the games. So even though you could expect like some kind of personality or layers of character from any of these guys, just like any other character in any other film or movie, it's not a common thing you see in a lot of Mario media in general.
That's a good point.
Especially in the games.
That's a good point, yeah.
Like, the base plot itself, you could definitely argue is, like, very simplistic, but the interactions the characters have, how they get from one point to another, I think that definitely makes, like, the bulk of the overall narrative of the movie a lot more interesting, especially if you're a hardcore Mario fan.
That's true. That didn't cross my mind. Also, speaking of Luigi, I guess because I didn't watch any of the trailers, I thought Luigi would be in the movie a lot more. Like, at the beginning, he was very prominent. And then later on, it just becomes a Mario and Peach movie. And I was like, wait, isn't, like, Luigi a character? And then after, like, 45 minutes, Luigi comes back. And I was like, oh, I guess here he is.
That is one of the things... We're talking spoilers in this movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. When you combine all the trailers, Luigi is definitely, like, probably one of, if not... Yeah, he's one of the least shown characters throughout a lot of the trailers. Like... His role in the movie kind of basically amounts to him just filling the role he's trying to be, which is Mario's whole motivation to go out in the Mushroom Kingdom. Like, basically he's in, like, the third act, not even the whole first act of the movie, I keep mixing them up. The first act of the movie, and then you go back and forth with some shots from Bowser's Castle to Mario, and Luigi doesn't really do much of anything until, like, the very end. So, that is definitely, like, underwhelming if you're a Luigi fan. I kind of wish they did a little bit more with Luigi, at least, like, one extra scene. But yeah, they don't really do a whole lot with Luigi besides establish this whole cowardly personality and, like, his interaction with the Dry Bones to him eventually, like, helping Mario stand up to Bowser. Because them together, like their opposing personalities, like, balance each other out. So they both can just fight together whenever, like, they feel like they can.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish they did more with Luigi, though. I could definitely see that being, like, one of the weakest parts of the film for some people.
Yeah. You know me, I'm Mr. Luigi, right? When I used to play Smash Bros, I was Luigi guy. So, I was looking forward to Luigi. He was very prominent in the beginning of the movie, and I was like, oh, okay, so they're gonna, like, cut back to Bowser's sequence, and maybe Luigi's gonna be doing something. But then, no, Luigi just got captured, and then 45 minutes later, we find him again. I was like, okay, I guess he's just not a prominent character in the movie. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal, but I was, like, kind of disappointed.
They probably could have thrown in, like, one extra scene of Luigi trying to concoct some kind of plan in those cages with the Penguin King.
Yeah.
With, like, the Luma Lee in the background just being a nihilist, like he always is throughout the whole freaking
Oh, yeah, that was pretty funny.
Bro, one of my friends said he was, like, the funniest character, and I'm like, that's the first time I've heard that.
I don't know if he was the funniest character. He was
literally just a nihilist the whole film. But I'm just like, that fits their whole purpose in Mario Galaxy, so technically that's in character for the Lumas, even though they're a lot nicer and a lot more childlike in Mario Galaxy.
I don't remember them being like that in Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, no, they're not, but they like, explode and die into, like, planets, comets, stars, and then eventually they, like, cascade into stardust. So... They're not... This Luma Lee's not too far off from what they're supposed to be doing as Lumas.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part? Jeez. There's a lot of things that stick out in my mind, but... In a general sense... I don't know if I'm gonna get flack for this. Almost anything they did surrounding Peach... I think is probably my favorite part of this movie. I love what this movie does with Peach.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I liked it when they had the baby scenes. I was like, wait, that's Baby Mario. They actually used Baby Mario.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that was so cute. I was not expecting flashbacks of the Baby Mario.
I was not expecting that at all. I was like, holy crap. But it's like, they actually used the Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Peach models. They didn't just... It's like, oh, that's...
Yeah. Like, all the other Mario characters, they're, like, kind of altered to, like, match, like, a semi-realistic take without straying too far from their game counterpart. The baby characters look exactly like they do in the games.
Yeah. I was like, holy crap, okay.
It was so cute, though. Oh, I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
Yeah, that was great. I think if I had to choose my favorite scene, I guess I have, like, two. But Mario versus Donkey Kong was definitely, like, up there for sure. Especially when Mario went Cat Mario. I was like, holy crap, it's Cat Mario.
And he's like actually like punching and like clawing DK like.
Yeah, you just like mixing all around him. Just like going here behind him, in front of him. He's just completely sizing him up. I thought that was pretty cool.
To ending it on the pounce move from 3D World, that was such a good touch.
Yeah. And then I guess also it's the opening part where they have like, we're the Mario Bros. I was like, I hadn't seen that beforehand, so I was like, what the heck? What?
Oh my god! If I didn't see that, I would have been screaming, dude. I mean, they released that commercial I think a month before the movie came out. I'm out shopping at ShopRite. I look at my phone and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs in my car. I'm like, there's no way they're actually acknowledging the Super Show. There's no way.
Yeah, and then the movie they had I
basically.
think the movie had an extended version of that trailer that they had on YouTube. I looked it up afterwards. I was like, I need to listen to this again. Then the movie had an extended version of it because I remember they had the cape feather thing, and that was like my first introduction.
Yeah, but like they use it as a prop for their commercial, and I'm like, that's so genius. That's so smart.
Yeah, and then they use the raccoon thing in the actual movie, which I guess makes way more sense.
Yeah, the raccoon suit. The super leaf.
Yeah, that makes more sense because that's more of a distinction. If Mario just had a cape on, I think a lot of like the parents and people who aren't like super Mario nerds like us, they wouldn't have realized that was a power-up, so I think that's a good choice to choose the raccoon.
Yeah. As far as action sequences go, it's definitely between like Peach and Mario going through the obstacle course. It's between that, Mario and Donkey Kong like taking out Bowser's forces in the Mushroom Kingdom, and probably the climax of the movie at the very end. It's definitely between those three as my personal favorite action sequences. I should say people think the Mario Kart section was the best.
I was actually gonna say I think also my other favorite part I think was the Mario Kart section.
That was so good.
Especially like especially when after the Koopa Troopa just becomes a blue shell. I was like, holy crap.
Dude, I was so happy. Like Mario and DK bust up like that dude's cart, and I'm like, he's still alive. You can't give us a blue shell Koopa Troopa and not let him do the blue shell.
I didn't even realize it was a blue shell. And then he literally walks through.
I'm like, come on. And then he says blue shell, and I'm just like, okay, this movie's peak. He just did he just kamikaze blue shell. Yeah, I did not expect also, that. Nintendo always refers to the blue shell as a spiny shell. They never call it blue.
Oh yeah.
Literally every other person on the planet calls it a blue shell. So I'm just like, thank you, Illumination. You actually have a working, functioning frontal lobe. Thank you.
That is true. Yeah, they always call it I think in Mario Kart Directs, Mario Kart 8 Directs when they used to have those for the Wii U, they call it the spiny shell. I was like, wait. I don't think I've ever heard anyone call it the spiny shell. So why is it called the green shell?
Yeah.
So do they call it just like the straight shell and the homing shell? Because they don't call
you're right. Oh my god, that makes it even weirder.
Yeah, because like, why is the
spiky,
blue shell?
But like, they call it. I mean, like, it has spikes and all. Spinies have spikes, but everyone calls it based on the color.
Yeah, the other shells are based on their color too.
Nintendo makes it weirder.
Nintendo doesn't call it the homing shell and then the straight shell or something like that. They just call it the red shell and the green shell.
That is weird.
Oh, whatever. That's for another day, I guess.
Well, like all the Mario Kart stuff this movie did was so good.
Yeah.
Even when they're building the karts and they whip out like a remixed version of Mario Kart 8, it's like menu music. I'm just bopping my head throughout the whole thing. It's like, yes.
I think from the moment they started, like, they went to the Con Kingdom or whatever, and then they were on the carts there, and then they started drifting. I was like, holy crap, wait, they're drifting. And then
yes.
And then they go off a ramp, and I was like, oh, that was stupid. Why did they go off the ramp? And they start gliding. I'm like, oh wait, they can glide. I forgot.
I think they showed that in one of the commercials I saw before the movie came out. But like, oh man, like they did their homework. They did their research. I'm like, that's one of the strengths this movie has. Like, if you even know like just one Mario game, like whether Donkey Kong, Super Mario Bros., any of the old 2D games, or even just Mario Kart, you're gonna have fun with this movie. Because a lot of the most popular Mario games are referenced in this movie, like, more than 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, several times throughout this movie. It's just such a fun time if you know any of those games.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a great experience. I'm probably gonna, like, wait for the movie to come out, and then I'll, like, look up some video that goes over all the references. Probably, like, a 35 50-minute long video just goes over probably longer than that. I'd imagine like because even the OST was you mentioned it before. The OST even just like is remixed cinematic versions of the actual Mario games.
Yes. Oh my god, dude. And oh my god, it was either Koji Kondo or Brian Tyler, the composers for the film. One of them said there's at least 130 different Mario songs referenced in the soundtrack for the movie. and like I'm listening to so many different songs throughout the soundtrack. They rip from so many Mario games. Going back to the Mario Kart thing, like Mario Kart 8's menu music, when they first land on Rainbow Road, it's Super Mario Kart's Rainbow Road. Freaking...
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
I'm pretty sure every single song from Super Mario Bros. 1 is remixed in this movie. We know the main themes.
Oh yeah, every song in Super Mario 1 was remixed, I'm pretty sure. There's like 5 songs in that game anyways, so...
yeah.
There's like the Castles theme, the
Mario...
Underwaters theme, the...
Yeah.
Probably like 2 other ones I'm forgetting. Yeah, there's like I remember when I was making my video about Mario versus Sonic. I remember like I was like, wait, there's like actually like 5 songs in this game. I was just playing it over. I'm like, wait, there's actually like 5 songs in this.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Bowser like playing on his piano. It's like the underground theme. Freaking when Mario gets the Tanuki leaf for the first time and he bops like a couple Koopa Troopas. Like they remix the athletic theme for Mario 3, the Mario World main theme's in there somewhere. When Luigi's in the Darklands with the flashlight, they have like a remix of like the Ghost House, Deep Dark Galaxy from Mario Galaxy in that part too. I'm just like, they're ripping like literally from so many different Mario games. I forget one of the songs too, but freaking Wario's Battle Canyon from Mario Party 1 is in that score somewhere. Dr. Mario's Chill.
Oh yeah, I remember Dr.
Buzzy
Mario.
Beetle's something. From Paper Mario the Origami King, like, literally so many different Mario games get referenced just in the soundtrack alone.
Yeah, I remember...
It's so fun trying to go through. It's
Yeah.
so fun going through the soundtrack, just figuring out, oh, this song's from this game, this one's from that one. It's so good. So good.
I couldn't even go that far. I remember I heard a lot of them, and I was like, oh, that sounds familiar. I don't remember what game it's from. Like, that all sounds familiar. Like, I remember, like, some of them, like, Mario World or Mario Galaxy and the original Mario Bros. I was like, okay, I remember these ones, but some of them, like, I've heard this before, but I actually have no idea where this is from. So they did, like, after creating the movie, I'm sure they know more about Mario than I do at this point, because I'm pretty sure every single OST in this game was, in this movie, was, like, a remixed song from the Mario games.
For the most part, it wouldn't surprise me if it was the whole thing. Yeah, and freaking the first time we're in Bowser's Castle, where like all the Koopa Troops like raving in this party, they literally played Bowser's Fury from Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Like, Oh my god. There was one cut song that got replaced by one of the pop culture music. Yeah, Take On Me, when that one Kong's driving Mario, Peach, and Toad throughout Kong Island. They replaced a Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Country jungle level remix song with Take On Me, which, like, I like Take On Me, but if there's anything about the pop culture music I didn't like about the film, I don't like that it replaces some of those remixed game songs that the rest of the movie has. Other than that, though, the soundtrack. How
many times have you watched this movie? You remember more than I do.
I watched it twice. I kind of want to see it again, though.
I watched it once, like, a week ago. So I guess some of the details are kind of losing my... I'm kind of losing some of the details. But I remember, there was some random pop song in there. I was like, well, it's kind of weird.
There was a couple. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a week and a half, but, like, plenty of details are still fresh in my mind. Mainly because I'm watching a lot of memes and, like, some clips here and there online on Twitter.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I just saw the movie, and then I just, like... I think I talked about, like, once or twice on Twitter, and that was, like, basically my entire exposure to the movie. Because I don't go on Twitter nearly as much as I used to anymore. So, I guess there's that. But, yeah, anything else you want to say before we head off?
They're going more for the references, too. It's also in just, like, how, like, characters move and, like, beyond the power-ups, too, like, platforming stuff. Like, the obstacle course section, for example, Peach literally long jumps.
Oh, yeah,
and,
I remember
like,
that.
her portion, and, like, Mario ground pounding. Freaking, like, they go everywhere with so many references and nods to the games. It's so fun.
Yeah, Mario's jump animation, and what else was there? Like Peach, like opening up her dress and like floating.
Yeah, exactly like her float in 3D World and some of the other Mario games.
Yeah, I know it's that as well.
They're just everywhere, bro.
Yeah. It was absolutely
Characterization.
fantastic.
Yeah, and like the other whole theme this movie has was just like it was mainly with Mario's journey, just like how persistent and stubborn he is, just like not giving up, and like even though he keeps trying and trying, he's like learning better and better the obstacle course stuff, the platforming stuff, trying to beat Donkey Kong. Like the actual theme for the movie for me, I think, is like the same theme and appeal that Mario games have, and just how much fun they are. And despite how many times you might die or like might mess up the controls or like trying to understand the level, like you'll eventually reach the end. The more you keep at it, just trying not to give up. Like that's exactly why people love Mario and why the games are so appealing and fun to this very day. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much about this movie I could keep going on about. I don't know how long you want this to be, but I could keep going.
You know, I was about to say I was gonna make a video a long time ago about like why platforming games are fun. I was actually thinking about mentioning that, about how you just try over and over again, and then you finally do it, and it's like you've mastered it. I was gonna say something like that. It was a very long time ago I thought about this video. Never actually made it.
Was it like some Sonic versus Mario video?
I think it might have been some Sonic versus Mario video that I originally thought about that in, but then I was like, let's make just like a video just on that topic alone.
Cause people do say that about Sonic games a lot. I've seen in several different types of videos related to Sonic specifically, especially the classic games.
Yeah, the classic Sonic games. It's like it's an acquired taste. I think that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
When I first played them, I was like, this is terrible. And then when I first played Mania, I was like, I didn't think it was terrible. I was just like, this is really weird. Like, why does everyone like this game so much? And I played it again, and I was like, okay, I actually like this game now. So, yeah, no, you've been on for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I could keep going, but I don't know how long you want this to be, so.
Honestly, I have no idea how this is going to do on my channel, so I'm probably just going to cut it off here.
Okay.
Yeah, alright, thank you for coming out. Let people know where they can meet you, where they can talk to you more.
For sure. I have a YouTube channel by the same name. I also have a Twitter, same as my YouTube, with an _YT on Twitter. Find me there. That's basically all. You could find me there. I have other social media, but I'm not as active on those nearly as much. So Twitter and YouTube for me.
Yep, that's good.
I'm probably I'm gonna rip this movie apart in my own videos for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna make his own analysis.
This movie was
video
so fun. It was such a fun movie.
Yeah, it was great. And yeah, thank you for coming out. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, like, comment, and subscribe to both of us, and we will catch you all next time. All right, bye.
Stay super.